Evander Holyfield wants his title back. First, Holyfield has to beat the destroyer, Alex Stewart. Vinny Pazienza broke his neck. They said he would never fight again. Paz beat the broken neck. Can he survive? Two-time world champion Lloyd Honeyghan. Live from Atlantic City, only the strong survive.
All right, is it me, or does it seem like Riddick Bowe's been heavyweight champ for a couple of years? It's only been 7 months since Evander Holyfield lost the undisputed heavyweight title to Bowe. Saturday, Evander unretires for real, fighting Alex Stewart. He beat Stewart in 1989, 2 fights before Holyfield won the title. Thursday, the two weigh in Atlantic City.
Alex Stewart, 228 pounds.
It's a different time, much more mature. Just being here is different. I mean, getting a second opportunity is different too. The fact that he's lost, that's different too. This is his first loss. So now make a second.
218 pounds.
I'm taking one fight at a time. I'm just focused. Looking forward to getting into this fight Saturday and coming out victorious.
All right, here are the numbers. Evander is 2 years older, 10 pounds trimmer, and, not on the screen, Evander's thighs are 5.5 inches bigger. Charlie Steiner reports from Atlantic City this weekend, Carl.
All right, soccer fans.
This Saturday at 9 p.m., Evander Holyfield makes his return to the ring against Alex Stewart. The two undercard bouts feature Vinny Pazienza and John Molina. All 3 fights can be seen on Impulse Channel 21A. The pre-show action begins at 8:30 p.m. and the price is $24.95 for Impulse, $25.95 for Impulse 800. And now, let's take a look at the competitors.
On Saturday, June 26th, only the strong survive. Hi, I'm Bob Papa. See the pay-per-view action beginning at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We have 3 12-round fights for you. Former champion Evander Holyfield squares off against Alex Stewart, a rematch from 1989. It was a war then. It'll be a war on the 26th. The winner gets a shot at champion Riddick Bowe. The loser goes home. We'll also see the great comeback story of Vinny Pazienza. He'll take on Lloyd Honeyghan in a 12-round middleweight bout. Honeyghan, a former 2-time champion, as is Pazienza. And IBF junior lightweight champion John Molina puts his title on the line against Manuel Medina. Only the strong survive. 9 p.m. Eastern, Saturday, June 26th. Nobody hits like the heavyweights. Let's take a look at Evander Holyfield and Alex Stewart. Evander Holyfield, the former heavyweight champion of the world, expects his second run at the title to go as well as his first. It started in 1986 with junior heavyweight and cruiserweight crowns. Then in 1989, former champion Michael Dokes ran into a man on a mission. Evander Holyfield had arrived on the heavyweight scene. Up stepped Adelson Rodriguez, only to be sent back down. Evander Holyfield's impressive mission carried him to Las Vegas, to Buster Douglas, and to the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. His first title defense was his shootout with George Foreman. Then he brought back the title to Atlanta, Georgia, his hometown, taking out Bert Cooper. Alex Stewart goes by the name of the Destroyer, and rightfully so. The 28-year-old London native has captured all 32 of his professional victories with knockouts. His professional career began in 1986, and Stewart has kept the pressure on ever since. Whenever Stewart steps into the ring, there's action. 22 of his knockouts have come in the first 3 rounds. Whether by knockout or by decision, Alex Stewart wants one thing. Alex Stewart wants the heavyweight championship of the world. Saturday, June 26th, only the strong survive. And it now co-feature a 12-round middleweight bout. Vinny Pazienza was involved in a serious automobile accident. Most people felt he'd never walk again, but after 2 victories, he's running for another title. But standing in the way, former welterweight champion Lloyd Honeyghan. You can see it on Only the Strong Survive, only on pay-per-view. Let's take a closer look at the Tasmanian Devil and Lloyd Honeyghan. Vinny Pazienza, boxing's ultimate warrior. The Tasmanian Devil can put on a show with either hand. In 1987, he won the lightweight championship against Greg Haugen. He stepped up to the welterweights to challenge Hector Camacho. Then to the junior middleweight division, as strong as ever, Pazienza took out Gilbert DeLay for the WBA crown. Lloyd Honeyghan, the former undisputed welterweight champion of the world. In 1986, a knockout over Donald Curry won him the IBF title. A 1987 destruction of Gene Hatcher brought the WBC belt. Lloyd Honeyghan, hard-hitting and aggressive. Mark it down, 9 p.m. Eastern, Saturday, June 26th. Only the strong survive. Our third bout will be a championship bout. IBF Junior Lightweight Champion John Molina puts his title on the line against Manuel Medina. John might be the hardest working man in boxing. Let's take a look at the champion. John Molina is one of boxing's best kept secrets. At 30-3 with 21 knockouts, Molina has been battling in title fights since 1988. 8 of his last 9 wins have been knockouts. Molina takes on all challengers. He makes his 3rd consecutive title defense against Manuel Medina. Molina has risen above the competition. Former undisputed heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield meets top contender hard-hitting Alex Stewart. Former 2-time champion Vinny Pazienza squares off against another former 2-time champion Lloyd Honeyghan. Only the strong survive. Saturday, June 26th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, exclusively on pay-per-view. Mark the date, Saturday, June 26th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, exclusively on pay-per-view. Only the strong survive. I'm Bob Papa. 3 12-round bouts for you. Holyfield, Stewart in the heavyweights. The middleweights, Pazienza and Honeyghan. And IBF Junior Lightweight Champion John Molina against Manuel Medina. When you take a look at Holyfield and Stewart, you have to go back to their first meeting. It was a classic battle. Stewart gave Holyfield trouble, but Evander Holyfield would go on to win and win the heavyweight championship of the world. Let's take a look back at Stewart Holyfield 1. The first meeting between the two took place in 1989. Stewart was 24-0 with 24 knockouts, Holyfield at 22-0. Round 5 was the high watermark for Stewart, but manager Jim Fennell says the straight-ahead fight plan had flaws.
I think you have to look back in that fight with the keeping in mind that Alex went into that fight with a record of 24 KOs, with an indestructible attitude in his own mind. And he brought that type of thinking to the fight with Evander, in that he was going to take Evander out. And as a result of that, he threw caution to the wind many times and left himself open for counterpunches, which were very devastating.
Fennell's assessment was on the mark. By round 8, Holyfield had complete control of the fight. Stewart's left eye was a mess, as referee Tony Perez called for an end. Stewart's title hopes were sliced away.
From there, he went on to win the heavyweight title, which I felt should have been me. Now we have us meeting again, back at the same crossroad where he slipped and lost his title. And I'm feeling that, hey, I'm a lot better than I was. I've went to school, and yeah, of course, he knew better stuff than I did. He's been in better fights than I've been. He's a great fighter. Yeah, we know all that. But he lost.
Alex Stewart says Evander Holyfield lost, but he won the respect of the fight community and fans across the world. And if he can get past Alex Stewart on Only the Strong Survive, on Saturday, June 26th, exclusively on pay-per-view at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, he gets a chance to avenge his only loss to Riddick Bowe. It's the moment that defined Evander Holyfield's career. 12 rounds, maybe one of the greatest heavyweight championship fights and one of the greatest rounds of all time.
Holyfield was one punch away at a couple different times from going down, and now he comes back with a big uppercut, and Bo is in some trouble. He's tired from his earlier barrage. Look at Evander swinging from the heels. Oh, a right that just missed.
When I looked at the fight, I can see that the fight was a very contested fight, as we both was #1 contender, number 2, and we were going in to fight for the championship. Then I can see that Bo edged it out. But me coming in as a champion, and the fight being so close for the challenge to get it, I just don't see how it could have, changed hands of the title.
The judges had Bo the winner, but as his final seconds as a world champion ticked away, Evander Holyfield offered some parting shots. It was a memorable encounter. Many thought Holyfield was finished with boxing, but he has come back with a new trainer, Emmanuel Stewart, and he's come back with a new manager, rap star Hammer.
Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe.
He's not fighting because he needs money. He's not fighting because somebody forced him to fight. Evander is fighting because he felt as though he fought a fight against Riddick Bowe that was not his fight. He didn't give the Evander that we know on his last fight, and he refused to let his last performance be what he considers one of his worst performances. He wants to go out of the game like any great champion would like to go out, and that's to go out on top and with your best performance, with your best foot forward.
Former undisputed heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield meets top contender, hard-hitting Alex Stewart. Former two-time champion Vinny Pazienza squares off against another former two-time champion Lloyd Honeyghan. Only the strong survive. Saturday, June 26th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, exclusively on pay-per-view. Holyfield Stewart, Pazienza Honeyghan, Molina Medina. 3 12-round action-packed bouts for you. Pay-per-view, Saturday, June 26th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Only the strong survive. I'm Bob Papa. At the end of 1991, many thought Vinny Pazienza's career was over, but he's known as the comeback kid. 10 months later, Pazienza captured the WBA Junior Middleweight Championship with a win against Gilbert DeLay. Pazienza always rising to the occasion. Never count him out. But what would transpire would be a Hollywood script written in Providence, Rhode Island.
I'm just so happy, man. I stuck it out with dogged determination and persistent perseverance. I'm back on top, 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 back on top.
This is News Watch 10.
Good evening. Rhode Island's own Tasmanian Devil is in Kent County Memorial Hospital tonight with a fractured neck.
We're waiting to get official comment from the family to see whether or not Vinny will box ever again.
No evidence so far of any paralysis.
And I wanted people to know that I am okay, that I will survive this. At first, when I came in here, I had tears in my eyes. I thought it was going to be over. And Dr. Carter said to me, and Dr. Carter had a tear in his eye. I could tell he felt for me. And he said, son, I'm sorry to say you're not going to box again. And I looked at him. I said, no, Dr. Carter, you're wrong. I am going to box again. He said, you don't understand what kind of man I am. You don't realize my capabilities.
For anybody who has ever been around Vinny, they will tell you about his dedication and loyalty to his family and boxing. Just weeks after his accident, Vinny began his journey back to a world championship. Every day brought another session in the gym. Hard work was nothing new to the Tasmanian Devil. The brace holding his neck and head in place would have you or I sitting home, but not Vinny Pazienza.
Not bad, huh? Everybody thought I'd be on a couch.
A couch potato he is not. And once the brace was removed, it was time to get back to the business of boxing. He continued to build his strength, working every muscle, regaining his stamina, and rejuvenating his lightning speed. Vinny could never throw in the towel. Since the accident, Pazienza has won twice, but he'll face his stiffest test against the hard-hitting Lloyd Honeyghan, a two-time world champion with 41 career victories and 28 knockouts, and a man who knows a thing or two about upsets. Lloyd Honeyghan made his mark in boxing in 1986 when he upset the heavily favored Donald Curry to win Curry's undisputed welterweight championship. Since losing his title to Mark Breland, Honeyghan has continued his career on London's South Side. Each day it's off to the gym to continue working on his skills. He recently captured the British Commonwealth title with a win against Mickey Hughes, and he hopes to satisfy the sweet taste of a championship.
I still got a hunger because there's no taste like being a world champion. That's the best taste of all, especially when you're not gravy trained, you know. So this is another stepping stone. This is a make or break for me at Pazienza. It's a very good fight for him. It's a very good fight for me, you know.
Former undisputed heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield meets top contender hard-hitting Alex Stewart. Former two-time champion Vinny Pazienza squares off against another former two-time champion Lloyd Honeyghan. Only the strong survive. Saturday, June 26th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, exclusively on pay-per-view. Mark the date, Saturday, June 26th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, exclusively on pay-per-view. Only the strong survive. 3 big 12-round bouts for you. I'm Bob Papa. Evander Holyfield and Alex Stewart. This is a rematch. The winner gets a shot at Riddick Bowe in the fall. The loser goes home. Vinny Pazienza, one of the great comeback stories against two-time champion Lloyd Honeyghan. For these two, the winner could get that title shot. The loser, it could be the end of the line. And the hardest working man in boxing, IBF Junior Lightweight Champion John Molina against Manuel Medina. It'll be hard-hitting action from start to finish. There's no quitting any of these fighters. It'll be bombs away on Saturday, June 26th. Evander Holyfield has designs on winning back his world championship. In one of the greatest fights of all time, Holyfield gained respect in the boxing world. But does he have enough left to make the journey back to a championship fight? On Saturday, June 26th at 9 p.m., that question will be answered. Alex Stewart has designs on a world championship of his own. Stewart must win against Holyfield in order to keep his dreams alive. Can his power carry him to a title opportunity? Also on June 26th, the great comeback of Vinny Pazienza. Since his tragic automobile accident, Pazienza has come back strong, winning 2 fights. The former two-time champion would like a 3rd world title. But Lloyd Honeyghan is the man that stands in the way. Honeyghan brings 44 professional fights into the matchup with Pazienza. IBF Junior Lightweight Champion John Molina will also put his title on the line. All on Saturday, June 26th at 9 p.m. on pay-per-view. Only the strong survive. As you can see, none of these men leave their game in the dressing room. The focus, of course, the heavyweights, a 12-round elimination bout. On June 26th, you'll have a chance to see how it unfolds. Everyone has an opinion. Let's see what the experts think. Holyfield and Stewart, too.
I think Holyfield will get past his first fight. I think he'll beat Stewart, but I think it'll be a much closer fight than the first one was, and the first one was a close fight.
Stewart has been more of a banger since then, and he's been hurt a lot more, and I think he'll come out to get into a brawl, and I think Holyfield will stop him about 5 rounds.
I like Holyfield. I think he's ready to return, ready to get back into things. It's a big fight for Alex. You know, they had the fight 3 years ago, and it was pretty tough, but Holyfield wasn't 100%. But I think he's going to be more than 100%, and he's going to look very impressive and win it.
I sincerely, honestly believe, my heart and soul, that Alex Stewart is going to win this fight. I sincerely believe that. I'm not sure how, but whether it will be a knockout or a decision, but I feel very confident about it, and what's more important, he feels very confident about it. It's a great opportunity. We're going to take advantage of it.
You'll see a guy that has a new fire inside of him because somebody has taken something away from him that he feels as though, and rightfully so, belongs to him, and he's going to do everything in his power to regain it, and I wouldn't want to be Alex Stewart in Atlantic City.
Only thing I'm saying to you, it's going to be a hell of a fight, because I'm coming to fight. That's it.
Well, you know, I see me going in there and fighting a selfish fight, me fighting my fight, and going in there and just, you know, no nonsense, and the era opportunity I have is trying to get him out of there.
Former undisputed heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield meets top contender, hard-hitting Alex Stewart. Former two-time champion Vinny Pazienza squares off against another former two-time champion Lloyd Honeyghan. Only the strong survive. Saturday, June 26th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, exclusively on pay-per-view.
You can order these 3 terrific matchups anytime between 8:30 and 11:30 p.m. this Saturday night. Don't miss what could be the start of Holyfield's battle for Bo's belt.